Alright, step one. You put one of these Tupperware containers of lukewarm water. About that'll do it. You want that water like so you basically can't feel it. Like you don't want it to be like touchably warm, or you just don't want it to be like not cold at all. You know, just work on it. Exactly this much amount of yeast because it's all I have. Kabum. Get a pinch like that of sugar in there. And then for fun, I don't know why I've been doing this lately. You just throw some flour in there just for fun. You give that a whisk, you come back in 10 minutes, you see what it's done. Alright, now over here, you dump a whole bunch of flour in. You might have noticed by now I don't actually measure anything. Let's call it like yay. I also always undershoot the flour and have to put in more later, so I'm trying to avoid doing that today. You grab some salt. You can't really give too much of it. Just do like that. It's alright. Now here's the part where people get fucked up. Oil. You need like a shit ton of oil. Like get it in there. That'll be pretty good, I think. People put like, oh, put like a tablespoon in it or something. No, you want to get in there with some oil. And we're doing this while we're waiting for the yeast to get all bubbly. I just like to cut in the oil with my hands a little bit. It's like if you've ever made pastry before, you know how to do that. You know the point of it is just to kind of break up the oil so it comes all sandy texture like. And I can already tell I don't have enough flour in here, but I'll figure that out once I've got the yeast activated. Alright, we're back. As you can see, the yeast got all frothy and bubbly and disgusting looking. So that's going into our sandy flour. Now, I got one of these. It's a bowl scraper. I love it. It's awesome. I use it for anything that requires scraping bowls, which makes sense. Now, this, you kind of just got to get in there. I mean, there's no real clean way to do it. You can use the whisk from earlier, but then you got to clean a bunch of wet dough out from the whisk, and that's just a pain in my ass, so I'd rather just wash my hands a couple times really good. And yeah, as you can see, I definitely undershot the amount of flour that I needed here, which is why I keep a bowl of bench flour. Add a little bit more of that guy. And you can use that later to toss the pizza in when you're actually cooking it. You can use it for, again, bench flour, like, you know, when you're rolling it out or whatever. Sorry, not rolling, stretching. Don't roll your dough or I'll be very sad. So it starts to come together. Looks pretty good at this point. Again, you know, as you knead it, it'll start to hydrate a little bit. You can add a little more flour if you need it. Eventually, all that crap on your hands will come off. It'll just like stick to the dough. It's sort of a self-cleaning process. And like I say, I just do all my kneading in the dough itself. The bench scraper makes that very useful. I just knocked the camera. Hopefully that's still all right. A little bit. And yeah, so I'm just going to carry on doing this for like 10 minutes. Fire up some YouTube, watch your favorite content creators. And then I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so 10 minutes of watching Kitboga impersonate old grandmothers and trying to screw over scam artists on YouTube. And I have this. It's a little tacky, little nice. This is all fine. Thanks for my lovely bowl scraper. The bowl is pretty much clean, so I'm just going to carry on right in it. Now I just go in with my hand. Olive oil, do that. You want it all over the ball itself. Not a lot, like you don't want swimming in it. This is just to make your life happier easy later when you're trying to pull it out of the damn thing. And it's risen up and it's gotten all over the sides of it. So yeah, just lightly oil up that. Give it a couple of, make it feel good. And then wrap this real good with plastic wrap and leave it somewhere for a while. So as you can see, my dough has enormified. It's quite large now. That's exactly what you want. People say you're supposed to, well, wait for it to double in size or whatever. What the hell is size? Nobody knows. So you flour up your workspace a little bit. You dump the motherfucker out. Oh, this is a beautiful sight. And I kind of just want to make a pizza out of that entire thing. Then you punch it. Honestly, just take out your little rage on it. I mean, don't like beat it up, but like, you know, just like give it like a decent little working down. I'll just like, you know, move it into a shape that's a little easier to work with. And now, aha. The last one was a bowl scraper. This is a bench scraper. So you kind of eyeball. This is pretty big, dude. I mean, maybe I can get 5 out of it. Yeah, I'm all about that. About that. Oh, they all look good. This one's just gonna be huge. All right, it's gonna be a very large dough. So you take one of these. You do this kind of thing. It's a little hard. Like you stretch it, and you stretch it and you pull it. This part, I'm not exactly like an expert on this part, but like you stretch it and you pull it out, and when you're done, it looks like that underneath. So you pull it back under, and I'm kind of like I'm doing this kind of movement. Like I'm kind of like scraping the bottom with my hand, and so I'm trying to just get that. And you do that like a number of times. Some guys do this on the countertop itself. I don't know. My chef taught me to do it this way. I never figured out the countertop technique. And you see, like, when you're done, it's a lot better. Actually, wouldn't call that done. Let me give it another couple of tries. See anything like that? Like that's like an air bubble. Keep those. Keep those as much as you can. Pizza's all about the airiness. You know what I mean? Like you never ever want to like purposely like squeeze out air pockets if you can. I'm making this worse before I get better. So what I have now is I have a ball of dough. This is gonna make a big fucking pizza if I'm being honest. So I brought out a stack of these ramen bowls, and I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before I sent this all to go rise for a minute, which is I'm just going to oil that up a little bit, oil this up a little bit. And then I'll wrap that. And once you have that, and you wrap it, and you leave it in the fridge for a bit, it'll also like expand the height, and you'll have a whole bunch of giant pizza dough on your hands. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. And that's the last step. If you get something like, I mean, this is okay. I'm just using it as an example. But if you get that and you don't really like it, then like what you have to do is just like you grab all that and you kind of squeeze it together. You squeeze it together into more of a package, right? Like this is the bottom side of the dough, like it was where my palms were that I was working on. So you just kind of squeeze it together like that, get it more tight, and you smooth it out. And it's pretty smooth. It's a lot better than what we started with, but whatever. I thought it was done to begin with. All right, this is going to be slightly cramped to film, but I have this. I have a bowl of dough. It's been some days since this went in the fridge. I'm hoping this is gonna work out. But anyways, you take your bowl of bench flour like I was talking about, get it nice and coated up. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to kind of just pinch around this side just to establish like the crust. Now I have, because it's been a couple days, you're supposed to leave it in there for like 3 days. It might have been 5 or 6, whatever. And one of these sides is like kind of dry, and one of these sides is kind of not. I think I'm gonna put the dry on the bottom. So you have it here. First thing you want to do is you're using like the pads of your fingers. You're not using like the tips, but you're using like the pads. A little gentler. You just do that. Also really cold. I just pulled it out of the fridge. This probably isn't going to work as well as I hope it will. It does seem a little loose. But what you're doing is you're kind of like, you're not stretching. You establish this crust like when you're pinching it around. You want to just like stretch it out into that. Like you don't want to like go over that. This is why you never ever use a roller for your pizza, because rollers make everyone sad. And it pops out all those bubbles. Doing this way does not do that. I'm seeing a couple of holes start to pop up there, so I'm just gonna patch that up with itself. Yeah, wow, this really isn't this isn't going that well, ladies and gentlemen. But I mean, it's happening. Like it's not happening. Probably a good example of why you do this, like, that day or 2 days later or 3 days later. Not most of a week later, good God. Whatever, it's a pizza. I like it. See? Look, pizza. So I'm hoping this is actually a good time to show you. What I had done there is because it was just a little too cold. It was like not working with me very well. I just left it on the pizza peel with some saran wrap over it, and now it's kind of doing it. Yeah, I got some thin parts here happening, which again you can just patch that up with itself, and nobody ever knows that you didn't know how to make pizza. And yeah, if you're just gentle with it, then you can make a full-size pizza out of what you didn't think you could make a full-size pizza out of before. Hot tip. We are dressing a pizza. And as I conveniently am getting to the last of my pizza sauce there, I'll just be taking a spatula and just dumping that whole bastard on. Now you still, you don't want to overdo a pizza. Sometimes it looks like it's more than it is. I also don't generally use a spatula to spread it around. I'm just doing this while it's in my hand, and I'll get a spoon out in a second. Hold on. Oh yeah, just spread it around. Gotta make sure you have all that. Ramen spoon. This is technically fusion cuisine now. So, important part when you're doing like the tomato sauce is you splash it up against around the crust a little bit. You don't want to just keep it neatly folded inside of where the crust is, because that crust is going to expand a lot in the oven. They call that oven spring, and so you want to make sure that you got a little bit up on there, and that's how you get that nice colorful kind of burnt crust without just actually burning your pizza. So you do that, you spread it around a little bit. This is extremely important, and I screw it up all the damn time, and I regret myself later. You gotta make sure you can do this after. Yeah, you see how it slides around still? Good. That's what you want, because eventually we're going to be sliding this off of the pizza peel onto the pizza stone. Now, we talk a lot about cheese. You don't really need grated cheese. In fact, traditional pizzas won't have that. Traditional pizzas will have you grab one of those balls of fresh mozzarella that's soaking in brine. Those are ideal, dude. Those are amazing cheeses to have to use for pizza. That's why traditional pizza has it. But I got cheddar, okay? Listen, I'm here to show you how to make a pizza. I'm not here to show you how to dress a pizza. I'm dressing it however the fuck I want. And right now, it's not worth going out in lockdown and standing in line for an hour and a half to pick up a ball of mozzarella. So I'm making this pizza with exclusively cheddar cheese, and you don't have to actually eat it. Only I do. So I don't want to hear any of your grumbling. I don't want to hear you in the comments being like, "No, that's not an authentic Italian pizza." I'd be like, "Yeah, no shit. I'm Canadian, motherfucker. I don't know anything about authentic Italian anything. All I know is what makes a good pizza, and and I can hope that this is it." This part's kind of rudimentary. It's just topping a pizza. And since I only have cheddar cheese, I am doing a sort of chicken bacon cheddar jalapeno situation thing. I don't know. I hope it works. This is honestly, this is the fun part about pizza. You can get your children to do this. It's just about, I only have cheddar cheese to work with. You build a flavor profile off of it. Cheddar, jalapeno, bacon, chicken, that all works. I actually famously do not like bacon on my pizza. I feel like the texture's a little wrong. Every other cured meat I'm down with. Salami, pepperoni, hit me. But bacon is just kind of a little weird and crunchy, if you cook it right, that is. But we're going to find out what this is like. And it's going to work because it's cheddar and it's everything that's supposed to work. When it comes out of the oven, I'm going to plop some green onions on it, and we're going to see what it's like. I've got an oven preheated here for 500 degrees. I got a pizza stone top rack. And I'm going to pull it out in 11 minutes. I'm going to show you what it's like. We have a pizza. Full disclosure, I left it in there for another minute and a half. But that's undeniably a pizza, is it not? If any of your friends come at you saying, "Oh, but he used cheddar cheese," just tell them my address. I'm ready for them. Because that looks like a fucking killer pizza. Alright, I'm going to go eat it now. Bye.